these songs and stories, by the way, there's kind of little mailing list sheets that are on your tables and stuff, and I've also got 4 albums over there. I'm going to do them at £10 each, basically, but if you wanted to buy the whole lot, all 4, then you can do that for 25. Or if you just wanted 2, you could do it for 15. Or you don't have to get any, it's not compulsory. I'm going to finish with one which is relatively recent, so this isn't on any of the albums, but I think it's a great story and it fits in with the kind of musical feel of tonight. I listen to podcasts a lot, I listen to stories, I love stories. And there's a podcast called The Moth, which is basically where people get up in an environment like this and they tell a true story from their life live to an audience. And it's recorded and it's sent out onto the internet and people like me listen to it while I'm having my breakfast. And there was this story on, and it was about this guy back in the civil rights movement. And he was a freedom rider. I don't know if you've come across the term freedom riders, but you'll remember Rosa Parks. She refused, didn't she, to give up her seat on that bus. And as a result of that, she was kind of like arrested and so on. And then a massive bus boycott took place to try and change that segregation, that big injustice. And the way that the bus boycott worked was that ordinary people, both black and white, who had cars, were basically ferrying those people who would otherwise have been using the buses. And this lasted for months, and it really hurt the profits of the bus company. So those people who were travelling around in the cars and ferrying people from A to B, they were called freedom riders. And they did other things as well. They'd kind of drive a bus and they'd take it to a white-only church, and then they'd all kind of worship together, much to the annoyance of the white folk inside. And this is the true story of what happened to this guy when he was trying to right that injustice as a freedom rider. So I took his story and I turned it into this song. It's called Freedom Rider. And I'm going to leave you with this one. Thanks very much for listening. I was listening to the sound check before, and you're in for an absolutely fantastic night as well. So I'll be joining you in a second to join in the fun. So this is called Freedom Rider. Thanks very much, everyone at the Atkinson. Don't you go to Mississippi, well my mama said that night. Them mean old southern white boys would take away your life. If they find a black boy just like you, gon' run him off his mouth. Listen to your pa and me, you know we're from the South. Why do you think we're here in Pittsburgh? Won't you listen to your mama now? I'm gonna be a freedom rider, ride for freedom all my days. Won't be a freedom rider, I'll never change my ways. Won't be a freedom rider, it's the only way to be. Won't be a freedom rider till we're free. Well, I listened to my mama, but I didn't hear a thing. I became a freedom rider for Martin Luther King. We traveled 40 years, the things they said was just for whites. We made them mad as hell each time we took our rights. From the buses to the churches, the college and the 5-room dimes. I'm gonna be a freedom rider, ride for freedom all my days. Gonna be a freedom rider, I'll never change my ways. Gonna be a freedom rider, it's the only way to be. Gonna be a freedom rider till we're free. I heard my mama's words that night, I nearly died. The police dragged me from the car and beat me till my face was barely mine. Then they marched me to the forest with a gun against my head, and they beat me with a pistol till I thought that I was dead. Don't know why they didn't kill me, but I'm telling you they should. But they made a freedom rider out of me that night for good. I'll always be a freedom rider. Join me if you would. I'm gonna be a freedom rider, ride for freedom all my days. Gonna be a freedom rider, I'll never change my ways. Gonna be a freedom rider, it's the only way to be. Gonna be a freedom rider till we're